I want all of you fucking marks out there to always keep it kinky.
That was wild.
What is up, everybody? This is episode 4 of Freebird Rules. How you guys doing?
There's a 4 already? Goddamn.
Yep.
Killing it.
I'm exhausted, bro.
Tired.
I overdid it yesterday.
I did too.
After my back surgery, I overdid it yesterday, so
Oh,
I'm
nice.
paying for it today.
Same.
I am paying for it today.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah. Well, we got a lot to talk about this week,
do.
boys.
We got a
But
full.
We also
Think we need some
have a
help.
guest.
Yeah, we need some help to talk about all this shit.
I think we do. We have a guest.
Yeah.
One of our favorite guests.
Yeah, tag someone in.
One of our favorite content creators. The man, the myth, Big John.
friend of the show.
John Boy.
What
Big.
up?
What up, man?
What's
I
up,
made-
brother?
I made the appearance on the original pod. Now it's nice to be on Freebird Rules.
Yes,
That's
sir.
First guest.
That's right.
Was he
Our
were you the
first
first guest for the last pod?
No, we had Brittany on before, I think.
Brennan was our first guest.
Well,
Shouts out
I don't
to
know. Because y'all might have guests before I came on, too.
Yeah, I mean, we had Luna on, all
Luna
that.
was
I don't
on.
know.
Yeah, we did.
But whatever, it doesn't matter because Johnny's our favorite. That's
Yeah,
what
right.
we're saying.
I'm just honored
He
to be a
doesn't need to be
recurring
the
guest.
first. He just needs to be the best.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
I fuck with Johnny. I don't fuck with a lot of these content motherfuckers nowadays. But
That's
I fuck
fucking
I can completely agree with that as well.
with yeah. Man. Welcome
Yeah,
back,
I
bro.
I don't know if you guys were like that when you first came in, man. It was for like 2 years. I was like, I'm friends with everybody. And everybody was like, just
Bro.
wait. It was so long I was friends with everybody. And now I was like, dude, I hate almost 90% of them.
When I
Yeah,
first
bro.
joined this podcast, right, I literally was like, okay, I'm going to follow all these fucking Wrestle Talk creator guys. I'm going to follow all of them. And I'm going to like get to know them because Hambone knows a bunch of them. And they're, like it was back in the other days with the company. And I was like, they know all those guys. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to be friends with all of them. And I was like, I don't like these dudes. Corny,
Yeah,
bro.
right.
They're fucking corny. Like, I don't like none of this shit. Like,
Yeah, man.
Like,
I was
like
full on ready to
fucking
dive in. I
5%
didn't even
of y'all.
know about the community. I had no clue, and then
Yeah.
I was just in it, and I was like, "Yeah, I fuck with everybody." And
no.
I think Ham was always kind of just, wasn't really wrapped up in it like that. I mean, he did his videos and stuff, but like he was always doing his own thing. But like me and Nick for sure were like, we're gonna full on dive in this shit. And now I'm like, man, fuck all you motherfuckers.
All right, like when I first got on TikTok, especially because like I have more followers on TikTok than all of my other social media combined, like by far.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, this is the most supportive social media community I've ever been a part of. And then about a year later, that was not true anymore.
Now, don't get me
That's not
wrong.
true
We
anymore.
still got some like real like just like
There's some cool people, bro. But
motherfuckers, you know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I mean? But,
for
like,
sure.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude.
yeah, nah. Yeah. But one of the
Alright,
good
well.
ones.
Let's talk about some stuff, fellas, because we got a lot to talk about.
Let's do it.
And like Nick said, at this point, this week, it's been a lot.
Where we want to
Yeah,
start?
It is.
I was saying before we started the show that we missed the last week, so we weren't here, and so we had basically 2 weeks worth of content to talk about, and then SmackDown happened, and it feels like it wiped out 90% of our fucking topics. So I'm a little peeved about that because it felt like we had a show and a half of content to do that we had to bring down before this NXT Vengeance pay-per-view we're about to watch, and so I was like, okay. That's awesome. We got a bunch of content to talk about. We're not going to run out of things to talk about. And now it feels like everything's just stained by this one thing. So, but we can start from where we need to start.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say I'd argue two things are really
Two things are very big.
are very much overshadowing. It's just wild that it's February 4th, and the wrestling world has already been fucking rocked at least twice.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
Crazy.
A lot.
And speaking of, So we're not going to get into the details here because, I mean, if you're watching this, then you know the details. You know what happened. You probably read the complaint. We're not going to talk about that here. But it is crazy because, I mean, he's done this time, fellas. Like,
For real.
he's done. Like, they're trying to figure out a way to erase him from history, which isn't possible. But to think that we've gotten to a point where there's no McMahon, period, involved in wrestling anymore, and they're trying to erase the guy who basically made wrestling what it is today is wild.
Oh, they're getting him the fuck out of here.
Oh, for sure.
They're getting him the fuck out of here. It's a wrap.
They have to. You have to.
It's a wrap.
Yeah. No, good riddance. It's very shocking that he's actually gone because there was always so many points during this whole like selling, scenario where it was like, okay, he's gone, he's out of there, and then like he'd come back, and then now he's gone for real. Now he sells the company, but then it's like, okay, like is he ever really gonna be gone? And I feel like now we're here. It's crazy what it took to get here, but
I was always under the belief that he was gone. Like the only way out was when he passed. Like that was
Yep.
Yeah. But this right here, I mean, and if we're being candid, right? Like if we're having like a real, like candid conversation, are any of us shocked at like hearing any of the things that he's been doing? Right? Like none of it was like shocking to me. I guess the most shocking aspect of it to me, like what he did really didn't shock me at all, bro. Like I kind of figured he'd been on that wave, but I guess the reaction to people, like just everyone just finding out, I guess the reaction is probably what's shocking me the most is like, oh, so like, so now it's out in the open and he's for real suffering consequences for it. I guess that's the most shocking part to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the fact that he's actually being held accountable is very surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think everything is like alarming, but it's not surprising.
Yeah.
But like the fact that he's,
the headlines are nuts. The headlines for sure.
Oh yeah, it's all crazy. But it's just like it's the fact that billionaires don't get in trouble. Like that's just what it is in society, bro. Like billionaires don't get in trouble. So the fact that he's kind of getting in trouble right now, exactly. Like that's that. You know what I mean? Like that's what that is, bro. That's the shocking part of it.
Yeah. I think the details were a little shocking. Like reading everything, it
The
just
texts
gets
are
worse and
wild.
worse and worse.
The texts are nuts.
The texts are crazy.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
One of the worst things in the world was Brock Lesnar defeating Kofi Kingston, and now them adding more details to that just makes it even more disgusting.
It's nasty.
It just the whole landscape was kind of like shocking, but then if you were to tell me, like Elon Musk or any other billionaire like did this, no, it's not going to be shocking because it's just like I don't have a benefit of the doubt for any of these people. But just to see the details, it was alarming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's wild to me, there are a lot of people, obviously, when you like get on social media, when we're talking about innocent until proven guilty, right? Right. So I am not shocked that there are people pushing that narrative or supporting him. What I am shocked about is the fact that there are actually people who believe that there's a chance that he may not be guilty of this, because take this out of it. Have you not been fucking watching the past 30 years?
Yeah.
He's gotten away with everything. Yes. But you don't get accused of doing that much shit without doing a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least doing half of it.
Yeah.
That's the
Even
one
if you're
thing.
doing half of it, it's bad.
Especially
Yeah,
when decades go by and you keep hearing about that, it's like, all right, bro, it's been, like you said, 30 years. Why we keep hearing about this thing about you?
Yeah.
I think the way that he kind of made his character too made it less surprising that all of this stuff happened. It was if you saw an actor playing this horrible role and then they end up becoming a horrible person, you're just less shocked. You're like, oh, okay, this wasn't like a method acting thing. They just were kind of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, they always like talk about in wrestling, like, oh, if you're gonna get into wrestling, when you're coming up with a character, you need to, amplify it 10 times. Vince turn that shit down.
Yeah. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, so this is like really his bag.
Yeah.
This really all came from his mind because he was really doing it.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay.
I got a question to ask you guys. And this might be a conspiracy theory, right? That I'm kind of starting to believe a little bit.
I love a good conspiracy.
I think that, when TKO bought WWE, we had a lot of, stuff with Ari and Vince going on TV together and talking about, how much they, respected and liked each other and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was TKO's plan the whole time. I think their plan was to buy this, was to own WWE and get Vince out. Because when last year when it happened, they immediately came out and were like, yeah, we know he's a liability. Like they literally said it in a bunch of documents. They already know that he's a liability and a problem here.
Yep.
And I just feel like they were just waiting for something like this to be like, all right, well, that is enough. You are gone. We own it. That's you're done now. I kind of feel like that was their plan the whole time.
Bro, I'll go a step further and say, because I matter of fact, I feel like maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I had this convo with Nick, like when the first time that some shit like this got out and he left. I'll go a step further to say that they knew something was about to come out.
Yeah.
And they knew that they had to wait it out, but they knew, okay, we're gonna have to wait it out, but it's not gonna be that long. So I'm with you. I feel like they knew what they signed up for, and they said, we're gonna get this motherfucker out of here. We just got to do business first. But I feel like somebody out back there got some intel, found out, hey, look, this is about to get cracked on open. And they were like, we just gonna play the waiting game then, if that's the case.
Right.
I think a big thing that, because, Vince had all the leverage when selling the company. So it's like, I think the only way to buy that company was to keep Vince around. And I think TKO knew how to do that and, keep Vince around, but then be in a position to, when things go down, to be able to knock him out or make him resign or whatever it was. So I think they played a good strategy because at first, I'm like, well, if you just buy the company, he's just not around. But he probably wasn't going to sell that company if he wasn't part of it at some capacity. So, yeah,
we got some new viewers in the chat. What up?
Yeah,
hello, everybody.
Shout out Glyscore and shout out Kev. I know them very well.
Oh, Johnny, he's bringing people over. That's what he's doing.
But no, I actually heard that that Disney and I want to say it was Amazon had offered more than TKO, but what TKO gave Vince was still, free control.
Yeah.
Very similar how they bought UFC and then still gave Dana control.
Right.
So I think that Vince bought into that, and I think that your theory, Hambone, may very well be true, that they were like, no, we'll pretend that he's going to be in control, and then we're going to get him out of here.
Let's play nice with him for a couple months, and then he'll screw up again. And
it was literally probably, hey, if we stroke his ego, we can get this company, and they were 100% right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So,
which led to this.
Oh boy.
Which, all right, we're getting the two things right out of the way.
So hold on. So let me steer this one real quick, okay?
Oh boy.
I have my opinions on it, but Hambone is going to WrestleMania.
True.
So I want his opinion last.
Okay.
Let's start with the guest. Johnny, how you feel about this? You watched SmackDown, you saw this, react.
All right, so my first reaction, I'm not a Cody guy. Marissa was ready to die. I think that she said that she was literally going to kill herself on the podcast.
Please don't do that.
Please don't do that. But it made for a great clip. But I'm not a Cody fan.
Tell me why real quick.
Just because he's so bland. There's just nothing versatile to him. Now, I loved Cody when he was Dashing Cody Rhodes, Undashing Cody Rhodes, Legacy Cody Rhodes. When he became the American Nightmare, I believe this was right before AEW's creation. Because even like when he was doing a little bit of the stuff in like TNA and New Japan, he had the leather jacket. He was kind of cool. I liked Cody. I was like, all right, I can rock with this guy. Yeah. And then he just became like the background character of Bullet Club as American Nightmare to me, and that's how I will always look at him until some kind of character change, which I don't think that he should change because he's doing very well at what he's doing. It's just not for me. So I've just always found him bland. So when this happened, it was just like, it was hilarious to me. And it was just hilariously in a bad way. It was just like, I can't believe that they're actually just throwing away a ton of, storytelling and everything that they have done with their number one babyface. Is it idiotic? Absolutely. Is it partly hilarious to me? Absolutely.
How's your own pod hating on you?
Yeah, that is kind of crazy that my own pod.
So you not being a Cody fan, like, are you on board with this? Are you not?
No,
you take
hell no, I'm not on board with it. This is crazy. It was crazy to do this. I was on board for, part of me is also on board for Cody because I want this to be over with. Like, I don't know how invested. I love the Bloodline story up until
Jimmy rejoined for no fucking reason, and they jumped the shark with
honestly, it. I even started to get a little bit of fatigue closer to SummerSlam. But I think the moment Jay left, that was great. That was like their crescendo. And then I thought this is about to ride out and this is about to be the end. And then obviously Mania will be when Cody wins the title and everything. But after Jay left and then he was like, I'm out, I think they just kind of all went downhill. I actually really liked the idea of Jimmy turning on Jay. I was down for that idea, but I was like, I want it to be that Jimmy does it to protect Jay. And then he comes out and he says, I did it to protect you. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. And then he's like, I'm going to join Roman. And then I was like, we've missed the boat. Like we've lost it. I don't want to see The Rock versus Roman, respectfully. The Rock wasn't a tremendous in-ring guy in his prime. I think Roman's a really good wrestler in ring. But this doesn't move me whatsoever. And doesn't look like it moves a lot of people because they're invested in something else.
Would you, if it was in a different setting, like let's say it's at Elimination Chamber and it can be for the title, it doesn't have to be for the title, either or. But let's say it's Elimination Chamber where we kind of have an idea that Roman is not going to lose that Elimination Chamber. Are you cool with that setting, or you just don't want to see this in any way, shape, or form?
No, I want to see this. I want to see this at like a Mania 41 or even like a SummerSlam. I'm totally down to see this.
But not at the expense of someone else.
Just like not the expense of like what every wrestling fan probably outside of me has been invested in for the last 2 years. Like I can obviously see that a lot of people want this to happen and want Cody and Roman to happen. So I just think it just kind of like spits in the face of all. It's very, I can put myself and be like, this was how I felt in 2013 with CM Punk. This is how I felt with Daniel Bryan. So I'm not a Cody fan, but I can obviously feel this is how I felt and this is how these people are feeling now.
Now, see, I'm on the opposite end. I'm a massive Cody Rhodes fan. Is he bland? Like, no. So when you say he's bland, it's like I totally get that. You know what I mean? He's quite literally like the white meat, good old boy baby face, right?
Yeah.
So for all intents and purposes, like I normally wouldn't give a fuck about that shit. But I guess I have an emotional attachment to him because I, like you, I was there from the beginning. You know what I mean? So I saw him with Hardcore Holly. I saw him with Legacy. I've been following Cody Rhodes from the jump. So there's like a sentimental attachment to that. So I love Cody Rhodes despite the Cody Rhodes stereotypes. You feel me? And I think I said this to them when the finish to WrestleMania last year against Roman. I think that was the first time ever that like something happened in wrestling that like made me go to bed angry.
Yeah,
I was pissed, dude. I was hot. So, I finally got over it, and I'm cool with them continuing the story for a whole nother year. And I'm just like, as long as he finishes the story, because I'm with you, I'm ready for the shit to end. So to just see the first time The Rock showed up and he made that head of the table fucking comment, yeah, like I got a bad feeling. I didn't like that because I'm like, all right. But maybe he's gonna do this at Elimination Chamber, right? Like he's not gonna just fucking strong arm his way. He's not gonna do that shit, right? I'm trying to keep it optimistic and shit. And then this shit happens. And bro, the way my heart just dropped into my stomach when Cody said, yeah, we're gonna run it back, but not at WrestleMania, man. I couldn't believe my ears, bro. Like, yeah, I made a video about it. I'm not on board with it either for all the reasons that you said too. It's just, to me, it's just bullshit. I think it's really, like you said, in a really bad way. It's very funny how The Rock, he's always been one of the most beloved like wrestling characters, wrestling figures in wrestling, and how very quickly he's just gotten all of us should just completely turn on him and say like, fuck this guy.
And outside of wrestling, like this dude is just like one of the most beloved people, and it is kind of hurting his legacy a little bit for all of these people to turn on him.
Because I've been a lifelong Rock fan, and this
I love The Rock. I would love to see Rock versus Roman, just not while
like
you're just throwing away story.
And this is the first time I've ever been just viscerally pissed off at The Rock. Not to mention, like, I'm also a big CM Punk guy, so him getting injured also just like kind of just took it out for me. So I'm like, all right, this Cody and Roman shit, this is like my last hope. Like, this is the one thing I can look forward to, and that just got fucking yanked away too. So I, like many other people, I'm not happy about this shit either. Yeah. Nate, what about you?
So I was talking to the boys before the show started, and I said, they asked me how I was, and I said I was upset, and I'm mainly upset with myself because I'm a very big perpetrator of social media arguments and everything like that. That's just not me. That's not who I am. I don't have much of a platform at all, but like I don't feel like giving people my platform like that. You know, letting people.
I don't mean to cut you off, Nick. I don't mean to cut you off, but just to add to that point, you know, because we've talked about on the show, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, Nick and I were, you know, doing the music. We still do it, but at a different pace. But, you know, when we were out and active in Northern Virginia, Nick was my manager. And a lot of times when Nick would have these situations, you know, Nick was he's just always been the guy that's just not going to argue. It's not, you know, about him being like scared or anything like that. That's just not his character. He doesn't do that. So I've always just been the mouthpiece to be like, all right, well, if you're going to say something to him, say something to somebody who's going to argue back. So that's just a testament to just how Nick normally is. It's out of character for Nick to have a back and forth with somebody online.
Exactly. So with that being said, I spent a lot of time since Friday night on TikTok, on Twitter, really just being on the For You pages and seeing things and replying to them. And I comment a lot on TikTok to begin with, but I wasn't doing as much as, you know, I'd never do as much as I did this weekend. And I finally got to a point where it was today where I basically spent about 3 hours on my X Twitter For You page just looking for new things to argue with. I jumped in Luna's replies and got on some people that were, you know, getting on her about stupid shit, and, you know, we're finding personal details about people and calling them out on it. I was doing a lot of fucking crazy shit, and like as realized as I was scrolling through and I wasn't finding anything, I'm like, what am I doing? So like I'm upset at myself for getting out of character, letting this get me out of character to begin with, and just letting myself get out of character.
That should have you hide, especially when you feel like you got when you know you're right.
Like I know I'm right, and I know I'm not like going. I know I'm not going crazy, right? Like I'm saying like shit to people, but I'm not like going out of my way to fucking be totally disrespectful, bro.
Nah. You just you know you're right. You know you can cook them, so you just like, ooh, say something else. Say something else, bitch ass motherfucker. So, say something.
That's where I've been. So, and I was just like, man, I should just not be doing this. But that being said, I hate this.
What was your reaction when, you know, the bomb dropped?
So me and Con had this group chat, Johnny, of a bunch of guys that live around here that are
the Plain Event Mafia.
The Plain Event Mafia.
Plain Event Mafia is great.
So we were talking in there, and I think one of our friends said something along the lines of, is someone going to like come out and ruin this or something like that? I was like, well, I know the UFL has a Birmingham team, so I felt like The Rock was coming. I just felt it. Like, I'm a big football guy, so I knew the UFL has a Birmingham team, so I was like, he's probably around. And I was like, there was a lot of time left. Like, Cody came out at like 9:40.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of time
in the chat too. It was like 15 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, so I was like, there's a lot of time left, bro. There's no way Cody and Roman are going to sit there and talk for 15 minutes, right? So, okay. So I was like, it's going to happen. So when Rock's music hit, I at first was like, holy shit. But after that, I was not expecting any of what just came out of what, like, because Cody didn't even speak after that. All he said was, the person I talked to knew you very well. The music hit. He came out. They shook hands. They hugged. He left. It made it look like it was Cody's idea. Now, I know for goddamn well that this is not Cody's idea. But I just don't – I know this is a money play. I know this is a Rock joined the board of directors and he made an executive decision. I understand all that stuff. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it cool.
Yeah,
it doesn't like –
when they're like, oh, but it's you don't understand. It's good business. It's like none of us work for this fucking company, bro.
Bro, you're not making a dime off of this good business decision. You're
not thinking about box office sales. That doesn't apply to you, bro. We don't.
Yeah, it's the KD tweet. Why are you looking at grass when we're in a hoop conversation?
I don't get
right.
I hate that argument.
So like it just like that. I understand those things. I understand that. Oh, it's a reference to something that happened in the 80s. I don't care, bro. I really don't like. This is Daniel Bryan. I don't care about any of that, bro. Like, this just shows to me that everything that they do that isn't Roman Reigns, The Rock related, they don't have any faith in. That's what this feels like to me. They don't care about AJ Styles. They don't care about LA Knight. They don't care about Cody Rhodes. They don't care about any of the women's roster. They don't care about any of this because we can't do WrestleMania if we don't go get a big star who retired, 10 years ago? When's the last time he wrestled? Rock.
An actual full match, like not some bullshit came out, just for a few minutes, blah, 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 2013.
It was
2013, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
We cannot do WrestleMania unless there's a person who did their last match 11 years ago to come out and make the big shocking return, bro. They can't do it. And they did a completely awesome Royal Rumble with no legends, no returns, no nothing. They had nothing, and it was awesome. Like,
they bodied it, bro.
What are we doing? Like, why do you feel this way about your roster? Why are you even creating this roster? Why do you have any other wrestlers under the WWE brand? What is the point? Why do you just have John Cena and The Rock just be here 24/7? Because if you cut all the people you got, you could just pay John Cena and Rock to wrestle every time because apparently that's the only thing that makes money to you guys.
Yeah, and this is one of the deepest rosters that WWE has ever had. Dude, the amount of talent they have is just insane.
It's nuts right now.
And I think another big issue. Sorry, another big issue is like with CM Punk, with Daniel Bryan. They kind of made them like this person that is fighting this machine. It's hard to make Cody the guy that's fighting the machine when you have him give up the spot on the show. Like it's his idea. That I think that makes it like 10 times worse that they made it like Cody's thing. So I don't know if there's tons of people that believe that they can get out of it, that they can fix it. You have to have the greatest writer of all time to try to swerve this.
Yeah.
Can I ask y'all a question because I want to get to Hambo because Hambo hasn't said anything yet. But would it have been? I just thought of this. Would it have been better if Cody came out there and all of a sudden The Rock just fucking hit Cody and just attacked Cody so hard and he's injured and now it's an injury play and now it has to be Rock and Roman at WrestleMania? Like, I feel like that would be better. Like, I feel like just rip the dream away from me a way that makes sense because that does not make sense what you just did.
Okay.
None of what you just did makes any sense. At least if you injure Cody, then I can be like, okay, well, Cody can't even do anything anyway. Who cares? Rock and Roman.
We would still, I guess we would still know that like Cody being taken out would like still kind of tell us like, okay, they kind of gave this to Rock, but like I'm with you, like I'm rolling with you though.
Yeah,
like
if that's
if you're gonna do that, like if you're gonna neuter this motherfucker, at least make it like a logical neutering.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, at least make it against his will. Like they made it seem like this is all Cody's plan.
I'm rolling.
Like I don't get that shit at all, man.
Yeah.
Hambo.
How you feel?
I hate this. And I have so many reasons why I hate it. Now, I'm just right off the bat, Con, Nick, I am a Cody Rhodes guy. I have been invested in Cody Rhodes since the whole dashing thing, He is probably my favorite guy in WWE right now.
Same.
So I get where you're coming from, Johnny, saying that he's bland. I definitely get that. That is the way that I felt about John Cena. John Cena was bland to me. He was the white meat baby face, but for some reason, it works for Cody for me. I think the reason that it works for me is because I know that it's true. This is not some bullshit that he goes out and puts on. And because I know the thing that everybody's gonna say is, oh yeah, well he does all this stuff on X and all that. He gives fan stuff, blah blah. That's just PR. Mm-hmm. I have personally, with my own eyes, seen Cody Rhodes do something, make a very grand gesture for somebody that nobody knows about except for the people who were in the building that night. And this was before WWE. This is before AEW. This is while he was on the Indies, literally after he left WWE.
Okay.
That shit is not PR. This isn't a character. That is Cody. That is who he is. And for me, that resonates because there aren't a lot of fucking good people in wrestling if you hadn't noticed. Mm-hmm. So this is my first WrestleMania, probably the only one that I'm going to go to. And you guys know that CM Punk is one of my all-time favorites. He's right up there with Shawn Michaels for me. He's 1B to Shawn's 1A. So him getting injured pissed me off, right? Okay. But I went, hey, at least Cody's going to finish that story, right? That's my other thing is I want to see that too. So now that's gone too. I'm still going to enjoy myself. I mean, it's fucking WrestleMania. Yeah. This is a bucket list item for me. But this is not going to be the perfect, WrestleMania experience that I was looking for because both of those things are off the table for me. Now, I agree with everything that you guys said too. It's the other reason that I hate this is that none of this makes sense from any perspective. And what I mean by that is you can sit there and say, it doesn't make sense storyline wise, right? No, it doesn't. It makes no sense that Cody would go for 2 years, finish story, win the Royal Rumble twice, and then just step aside.
Yeah.
Cody's wife, Brandy, I don't know if you guys saw it, but after it happened, she put out a tweet and all it said was quarterback, right? Now, I don't even watch football, but I can tell you that I don't know any fucking quarterback that doesn't want to go to the Super Bowl that would just step aside and say, hey, you go instead. So that analogy was weird to me, but whatever.
It's a good. I made the same kind of analogy on Twitter. I said, imagine this whole Super Bowl. So the 49ers and the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl, right? Patrick Mahomes is the star quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Brock Purdy is the quarterback of the 49ers. Now, what if Brock Purdy wins the NFC Championship, which he just did last weekend, and then Tom Brady goes, you know what? I actually want to be the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. I want to go to the Super Bowl and face Patrick Mahomes. That's what this feels like. That's exactly what this is. Right. Tom Brady ain't played a football game in a year. What the fuck are you doing, bro? You're 48.
Sure.
I don't want to see it. I'm good. I want to see Brock Purdy.
I get where you're coming from, Marissa. That's a good point as well. But that's just the way that I reacted to it. But
I think it's closer to Joe Montana coming out. It's not even Tom Brady who was playing last year. That's it was true. Give it an old man. This. Those I hate Tom Brady.
That's what Tom Brady hate.
The reason that I hate this so much, it's not that I don't want to see this match. I do. Mm-hmm. I find this storyline interesting. Mm-hmm. I don't want it at Mania. Yeah. I don't want it at the expense of Cody Rhodes, at the expense of somebody who has put this company on his back for the past 2 years and carried it through to one of the biggest boom periods in WWE. But more so than that, you take out the fact that the fans want it. You take out the fact that creatively this makes no fucking sense. Here are other people's arguments. It's going to make more money than Roman and Cody. No, it's not. WrestleMania was already sold out. Yeah. Pay-per-view is a dead medium to WWE. Mm-hmm. Nobody is paying to see The Rock at this because it's already sold out.
Yep.
There are no extra tickets sold here. Zip, zilch, zero, nada. That argument makes no sense. But even more so, somebody had said, somebody was trying to make the point that, one of the people who did it, not exactly in these terms, but one of the people who did it was stupid ass fucking Disco Inferno, who tried to make the comparison that Cody Rhodes had, 1 million followers on X and 1 million on Instagram. And then The Rock had 36 million or something. What's the fucking matter?
Thank you, bro.
Nope. It's already sold out. People were watching this anyway. People were going. That point doesn't matter. wrestling fans really need to stop believing, because here's the other thing. It wasn't just that Disco Inferno said that, but somebody else was saying that their comparison was, well, The Rock is more mainstream. And that's good. That's good for this to be more mainstream, because WrestleMania is mainstream.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's the comparison I like to make. Nick, Con, you both know, but John, you probably don't know. I don't watch football. I don't give a shit about football. I've never watched a game. The Super Bowl is mainstream. I am aware of the Super Bowl. I know what it is. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to pay to go to it ever. So what's your fucking point? Who cares if WrestleMania is mainstream and people know that name? They're not going for that. Wrestling fans need to stop believing that anybody gives a shit about wrestling outside of us. They don't.
Yeah, bro.
WWE is not like this overarching mainstream thing that just people all over. That's not what it is. It is a niche product, and we are in 2024, and every fucking niche product and every little niche thing that people love, you can easily find that, because it's not 1998 anymore, and you don't have to watch cable. You can go and find that specific thing that you love, and you can watch it. And wrestling fans need to stop believing that other people who don't already watch and care about wrestling are watching wrestling. They're not. There is not one person who's going to go, oh, yeah, I used to watch wrestling in 98. Oh, The Rock's there? Yeah, I haven't seen him wrestling $25. I'm going to shell out $75 to watch this.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
It's not happening. So not only does this not make sense creatively, not only is it taking away from all the hard work that Cody's put in, and again, snubbing him, and again, stopping, the WWE from making another megastar. Business-wise, this makes no fucking sense. You're not making any more money with The Rock here. No, you're not bringing in any more eyes to watch this.
I need y'all to drop that argument. The whole it's better, but like cut that shit the fuck out.
It's not.
I seen a good counterpoint to the it's better for business that was like, I don't want to see every single movie have somebody like The Rock in it. Like, it's not like you go watch this classic movie and you go, if you put, The Rock in it and Margot Robbie in it and all of the biggest actors and actresses, it would be a better movie. Well, no, it wouldn't. Well, it would make more money. I don't care how much money this is going to make versus, like, I want this to make sense. If that's the case and you just care about just making blockbuster, why are we not doing The Rock versus Stone Cold every single year?
Which goes back to my original point which goes back to my original point of when people use, if we're gonna stay there, like when people use that argument, but it's gonna make more money. Yeah, but it's not making you the money, bro. It's not making you.
Not making anybody more money. That's the even worse part. Like, I get that argument
about something like that. It's I feel like, I guess where I would come from is like, okay, yeah, like these dumbass stats of, it's the bigger box office draw, but like, if I'm just a wrestling fan, right? If I'm just a wrestling fan and I've been following the story like we've all been following this story, I'm with y'all. I would love to see Rock versus Roman, but not in this setting, and definitely not at the expense of a wrestler that I enjoy, and definitely when it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yep.
So why the fuck are we talking about, well, it's a bigger box? Why are we talking about that shit? It goes back to that shit does not apply.
Yeah. Not only does it not concern us, but it's not true either.
Yeah.
That's an even bigger
factor.
That's an even bigger factor. You just did the math. Like, none of this shit, like, logically, is true.
Yeah. And also, has WWE not, like, one of their biggest thing that they have done, especially like sending out to people on the media teams, have been, oh, hey, we just broke the record for the most, attendance in Madison Square Garden. We just broke the record for every single week. It seems like, we just broke the record for all this stuff. But the wrestlers that just broke all those records don't get any.
The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock wasn't there.
Yeah. The Rock wasn't there. Cody broke all those records. But what does he get for that?
It's a lot of broke people talking about what makes more money.
That's a
lot of broke people talking about what makes more money.
Yeah, bro. A lot of pocket watching, bro.
I did the same thing as Nick, where I responded to way too many people about this, because usually I am the one that goes, you know what? You ain't changing anybody's mind. This is a waste of your time. Stop doing this. Yeah. But another one was Top Dollar, who talked about this, and he put out a tweet saying, anybody, he was talking about how he was there for Cody when Cody came back from his first Royal Rumble win backstage, and nobody else was there but him and Hit Row, which who cares? What the fuck's that got to do with anything? But his point was, you know, he was saying it to make the point that he is a Cody supporter, right? And then at the end of his tweet, he said, "But if you think that The Rock versus Roman is not the biggest main event ever, then you're crazy." And I responded to him and I said, "And?"
So let me ask you,
WrestleMania was already sold out. I don't know how many times I have to say it. It does not matter.
Question: do you, and because with that point, right? It's the biggest WrestleMania match ever. Is it still that if a large majority of us don't want to see the match?
Exactly.
Right. I mean, yeah, I had to ask Khan too, because I was saying in the group chat, I was like, bro, are we in the minority here? Are we like are people are wrestling fans like us? Are we in the minority? Because I thought we
were the minority.
Yeah, and like so it's like I just like are people who like genuinely pay attention to this product and watch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, you know, whatever. Are we the minority in just like we must be the minority in their heads, because like in WWE's heads and in whoever's heads, because it just doesn't feel like they're doing anything for us. They're just doing whatever it is they think makes the most money. And in my opinion, I just don't think that's a great way to run your company. Now, that's me talking as somebody who doesn't have any sort of billion-dollar company or anything like that. I'm just saying, as a fan of your product, who's very much considering whether or not I'm going to keep watching this product, I don't agree with the things that you are doing at all. Like, there's a lot of things that you're doing. Like, another topic of conversation that's not on our headlines is that Bayley just won the Royal Rumble, and she's nowhere to be seen on any WrestleMania poster at all. That's crazy. That's a lot. Like, we got Bianca sitting there, and she doesn't have anything to do with WrestleMania as far as we know right now. She's a big star. She's made her name, and I love Bianca Belair, but she's got nothing to do with WrestleMania 40 as of right now. She may have a match down the line, but we don't know. But she's all over the posters. She's on the Vegas press conference thing. She's on that poster. Like, bro, like what? Like, you guys are just making like shock decisions. Like, oh, look who's on our poster. It's The Rock. It's Roman. It's fucking Bianca and Rhea Ripley. Like, bro, like these are not the people that are making this company run. These are not the people that are making this company enjoyable week to week to week. You're not showing anyone who I'm watching on Monday, on Friday at all. You're not doing any of that.
Yeah, you're kind of making a point that I have been making for years, Nick, when people have asked me in other ways, like, you know, people would go like, do you honestly believe that, you know, Vince is, you know, just out of touch, or is he just fucking with people? I'm like, both. Because at this point, WWE is so big. They make so much money from their, you know, TV deals and advertisements and all that. It doesn't matter whether we like it or not. It really doesn't. Like, merchandise sales, ticket sales, they almost don't fucking matter to WWE. They can do whatever they want, and it doesn't matter if we like it or not, because most of the wrestling community has proven that even if we don't like it, we're gonna watch it anyway, and they know that.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
so we gotta wrap this up though, because we've been talking about it for way too long. Yeah. But to wrap it up, really, I am blown about Mania now. Yes. Yeah.
For that.
Yeah,
Cody. Hey, Cody. The quarterback.
You could make this argument though about Bianca though. You know, Nick, why is she on there?
Why is Bianca on the cover? And again, I understand she's the big star, but like this could have just been Rhea, or like it could have been Rhea and Io, the current champions. Why is Io not on the cover and Bianca is? I love Bianca Belair, bro. I'm gonna keep saying it because everyone's gonna take my shit out of context. I love Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair in the last year has not done anything to be on this cover. Not in the last year. She could have been on last year or the year before that. She's been great. But this year, there's other people that could have been on this cover.
I was thinking about that too. My bad to cut you off. I was thinking about that too. But the only logical reason I could think of, and I don't know this for sure, but this is what made sense to me, was aside from Rhea Ripley, I guess I would ask y'all who was, aside from Rhea, the most popular wrestler on the women's roster. And I mean, I can't think of it. To me, it would either be Becky or Bianca. That's the only logical reason.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
But in my head too, it's just like you you're building all these stars up, you're building all these superstars up, and you're trying to give them. I mean, you literally had Bayley win the Royal Rumble.
Well, also, we gotta think about what time they shot this cover and made these decisions, because how long has Io had the belt?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. How long has she had the belt?
I would say a while, not like years.
But she got the belt. You know what I mean? Like after all this happened. You know what I mean? Like then that's.
I want to say Io got it not too much.
It's a good point.
Long after.
I don't know, because you know what I mean? Because WWE, when they start their games, they start that shit kind of like it's like in a weird timeline. Because I know as a person who plays every year, like you can kind of tell when they started production of the game just based off of the roster. You know what I mean? Like who's in the game.
Io got it in August.
August. And then Rhea got it
at WrestleMania.
Damn, has Io had it since August?
Yeah, bro. I'm saying she's had it for a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you a 2K player, Johnny?
I used to be massive when it was SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain. Shut your mouth. And then I kind of stopped playing it probably around like 2K, like 14, 2K 15. So now I'm just like a casual player. I still get it every year. I'll play it a little bit, but I'm not like diehard into it. But now that I'm streaming and now that the pod's doing very, very well and everything, I think I'm gonna start doing some 2K streams.
Humble brag.
Yeah,
humble brag over there.
I'm a diehard player. I'm a diehard player.
This would be my first year playing the game. I've played wrestling games in the past, but I've never played any of the 2K games. The last wrestling game I remember playing was on the N64. I mean, that's A, shows my age, and B, how long ago it was. But I've never played a 2K. I'm very washed. I've never played 2K. So I'm waiting to see how it goes. But I mean, everything Khan talks about, and I've watched Khan play the game. It looks very interesting.
It's just a game, because I was talking about it in the chat. It's just like for me, because like I don't think I've ever, the only WWE game I never got was SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. You know what I mean? And I was a kid back then. But aside from that, there's never been a year that went by where I didn't have the WWE game. I never get any of the side shit. You know what I mean? Like I never get that shit. I go straight for the game.
I got one. I got the Machine Gun Kelly pack. I had to.
You got the machine.
That's the only time I ever bought an expansion pack.
But I got that pack too. I ain't gonna bullshit. I got that pack too. But I get the game every year. But like, you know, we all know that 20 was fucking ass. But like, you know, for me, I was always a big fan of like general manager mode. So when they took that out, I was kind of blown about that. But when they brought it back, like it's just one of those games where there's not too many games where I could be playing it, but I could also like watch a show on the side.
Right.
I could be playing it, and I could also, I don't know, like make dinner or talk online with Nick and them and shit like that. It's just a good mindless game for me because I'm so used to the game. I've been playing it for so long. I know all the fucking mechanics. I think when I met my fiance, like I had a lot of my ADHD was nuts. I would be able to be on FaceTime with her, have a TV show on the side of me on my laptop, and then be playing WWE and be like full on aware of everything going on at once. And she used to think that was very, very chaotic. I can't do that shit no more, but it's just a good mindless game for me.
Yeah, Marissa can attest to that. I listen to a podcast while playing a game while
I can do shit like that with this game.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. And then I peeped the gameplay. I peeped the gameplay this year. I'm very excited for this game because all the new mechanics they done added to it, like the whole like back and forth, like fucking punch off and shit like that. I'm very excited for this one.
I've told you guys before that, you know, my two buddies and I, we always buy the 2K game every year. And seeing as none of us watch sports, the 2K game is our fantasy league. So we take all the roster, we draft our own teams, and then we play whatever event WWE is doing that month, but we use our own guys with our own feuds, and whoever walks out at the end of the night with the most titles in the game leaves with a title that we all paid for. An actual
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Also, learned just a couple hours ago, Brock Lesnar being taken out of the game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he got removed.
He is being taken out.
That's crazy, boy.
See ya.
I'm expecting that good luck in your future endeavors tweet to come out soon.
Yeah.
That's crazy, boy.
I forgot about this. Oh, my Lord. I forgot about Raw going to Netflix.
This is so weird to me.
It's the weirdest. It's the weirdest.
Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, yeah, streaming is where everybody's going, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I don't know. Taking wrestling off of cable and being like, yes, you have to pay for Netflix to watch this one show. It's crazy to me.
Let me lead this one, because I didn't know how to feel about this at first. Like, I really didn't know how to feel about it. But after hearing so many people talk about it and having discussions about it, I'm on board with it. Let me tell you why. So at first I was like, Ambo, like, because just that's weird. That's just weird. You know what I mean? Especially with a show like Monday Night Raw that, like you said, has always been on cable. It's always been on USA. Well, it was on Spike for a while, but like we just know Monday Night Raw to just be a cable show. So I was just like, that's kind of like, it's almost fucked. You know what I mean? Because now you got people who got to go and buy the subscription. It's like, hey, but what if you can't pay for Netflix, right? But realistically, a lot of people will although there are people that are going to be in that situation where it's like, okay, maybe they can't get Netflix for whatever reason. There's still going to be a lot of people who are going to get Netflix because they just got to see Monday Night Raw. So, I mean, and I'm not saying that's a positive thing. I just know that that's going to be like the reality of it. But I guess what makes me kind of more on board with it is because it's going to be on Netflix now. That whole like ratings thing, I would believe, like, oh, the TV ratings, I believe that would be out the window at that point.
I would think so. Yeah. I mean, unless they track it for some reason. But
yeah,
thank God.
Yeah, I don't think it'd even be in that type of conversation anymore at that point. So,
this is the only live thing I know that Netflix has done or is doing. I know they did the Chris Rock special live,
right?
But I don't think they did. They don't have any live content currently.
Right.
So like, I don't know. Like, that's
following up on that, Nick. Something that I thought about that I haven't really heard anybody say anything about is, this is going to be one of, if not the only thing that we're aware of that's going to be live on Netflix, right?
Right.
So does that mean that we're getting commercials? Are we getting 3 hours of Raw?
Well,
are we just getting a continuous show?
Hold on, I wasn't finished my point because it adds to that. Because I thought about that too. I would imagine that it's going to be live, so I don't know. That is a good question. But the thing that kind of was the selling point for me was that if it's going to be on Netflix, I would assume that and I don't know shit, right? Like, I don't know shit. I'm speculating. I would imagine that because it's on Netflix and it's no longer on a cable TV, maybe Raw would be able to get away with some shit that they probably couldn't get away with on cable, right? Netflix allows a lot of shit. I
thought about that. That's a good point.
They let a lot of shit rock, bro. You see a lot of shit on Netflix, so it's like, yeah, that does suck for some people in terms of having to be a subscriber and shit like that. But it could make for some really compelling television. And I guess, and this would more so be a question because I really don't know. Would Raw still be 3 hours? Do y'all think Raw would still be 3 hours if it was on Netflix?
That's what I'm saying. I think that Raw will be 3 hours if Netflix is going to force commercials on us. Yeah. If they are not, then I don't think we're going to be doing 3 hours anymore.
Yeah.
I imagine Netflix does commercials just to try to get like return back. And I think that's probably going to be something where like you pay, it'll probably be regular commercials. And then if you pay a premium, then you're just going to get
commercial free.
Yeah, just like how like Peacock does, where like technically we don't get like commercials during the pay-per-view, but it's like WWE commercials.
Oh,
Netflix will probably do the same thing where they're just promoting their, the next big show on Netflix.
I get what you're saying. How like WWE be doing like the WWE shop commercials and
exactly.
My thing with this is I don't think the world is ready for something like this. And again, I'm bringing it back to NFL because NFL is just something else I know very well. NFL did start this a couple of years ago where they've done their Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. It's the only place you can get it. I think a lot of people still have trouble with that. To the point where Amazon Prime and Thursday Night Football has really gone down in viewership because of it. because people are just turning on their cable TV and they can't find it, right? So that's a big thing. I just don't think as a society we are at the point yet where we're just eliminating cable TV. I think a lot of people, especially our age, are probably at that point. But I don't think the general consensus of the world is at this point where streaming services are replacing television or replacing cable. I think we are on that way. I think we should be that way because I generally find it easier to just have Hulu, just have Peacock, just have Netflix like I do. But because I don't have cable at all in my house, but I do have a live television service. I use Hulu. So I don't think we're there quite yet as a society. So I feel like this moves a little early. Like I don't see this happening for another 5 years. If I'm really predicting the future here, I don't see streaming being really the main thing until 5 years from now. So like 2030, but that's just me predicting the thing. I don't think we're here as a society yet. But maybe this is a big step towards it because Raw, WWE is a big company and there's a lot of viewers that are watching it. So maybe, but I don't think we are there yet.
There was one other point I wanted to make and I completely forgot about it.
I just be talking, bro, and it just distracts everybody and it brings everybody off the rails.
No, I think you have a good point though. I think that it's not necessarily because like every single Thursday I look on YouTube TV for Thursday Night Football and then I go, oh fuck! I gotta go to Amazon. All right, I go to Amazon. It's just that like my brain still hasn't wired that yet. It's getting there, but it hasn't wired that yet. And I think that Raw is either going to be really, really hurt from it, or it's going to be the shot in the arm that makes people get wired to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of where this is at. Like, I think Thursday Night Football and this are a really big, like, a big shift towards this because it's like eventually everything's going to move to that. But I don't think we're there quite yet. So them taking kind of the big leap here is a big experiment and a big risk. But they could do it, and they might not even be worried about it.
Yeah, and like Con said, if it makes the product better and it makes it maybe even a little bit more edgier, I'm down.
I don't know if that fits WWE's brand though. If they're going to make it edgier, I mean,
it might not. Because
like I just don't think that like we've always said WWE is mainly for families and almost kids in a way. So it's it's not AEW. AEW is gritty as fuck and have John Moxley.
Well, I don't think it would just be outwardly like a big like noticeable shift, but like there's just some things that they could probably just kind of throw in there that they probably wouldn't have been able to. Things that they probably wanted to put on TV in the past for storylines, and that someone said, "Hey, we can't let that rock because of the network type." I would think it'd be like stuff like that.
Yeah, Cody saw this agreement and goes, "I can bleed again. I'm gonna bleed."
That's true. I don't even want to talk about this anymore because of what happened on Friday.
I want to talk about it for 1 minute because here's the thing: regardless of what has happened with The Rock, she's not good.
I've never seen her on television.
She's not good in the ring. She's not a good talker, and that's not to say that she couldn't be.
Right.
But she's not ready to be on TV, and they only did it because she is The Rock's daughter.
That's fucking crazy, man.
This is absolutely 100%, 1,000%. A Rock made a phone call as soon as he got the director's job and said, "Do this with my daughter." I believe it 1,000%. No one's going to bring me otherwise, bro. Because like you said, if she's not good in the ring, she's not a good talker. What the fuck are you doing? Being the GM.
I think this is what Johnny said earlier, where he was like, it's like really funny, but like in a bad way. This is hating, bro. Like, wow. He's part of the board of directors or whatever on TKO, right? So he's in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yep.
Boom. Like this is nuts. Like
bro.
it's damn near shameless.
Like, bro, we get it. No one liked Black Adam. We get it. No one's watching.
You want to talk about swinging your dick? Like, god damn,
we get it, bro. Like, no one fucking watched the Jungle Cruise, bro. I get it.
Wow, bro.
I fucking get it, bro. But goddamn, like,
oh man,
admitting to watching Jungle Cruise is crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, bro. No one's admitting to that shit, bro.
I think this is the best thing for her because she's on TV already, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
As you said, she's not very good in the ring. she's not a great talker, right? But she is able to just kind of get the information across.
Okay.
And right now, her being on TV, getting more comfortable, just getting the information across, I'm kind of down with it. The thing that I'm not down with is
Can't get better.
Is Lexus King's involvement in all of this.
What is his involvement?
He's just a creep to her each week, and two other women. I don't know what the character is right now.
I was going to say, I think that's his character, though. I think he's just going to be a creepy weirdo to everybody.
I'm Pillman Jr.
Yeah. It's
what?
It's not great. I don't think that part's going to help her a lot. But I think that getting her around some personalities in NXT where she's just giving the information, she can just kind of like side eye people, maybe not Lexus King, or just Lexus King with a different character, and doing stuff like that.
I like your character, Lexus King, if you're watching.
I hate Lexus King, and I didn't hate him. I didn't know why all of the AEW stands just viscerally hated him so much on Twitter. But his new character now, I hate it.
I like the new character.
I never cared about him at all. I never. He wasn't in the way. I never really saw him. I mean, he's mainly on Dark.
I think in AEW, I think the issue was just that. I mean, he came in as Brian Pillman Jr. So like, I mean, you born into your pop shadow, bro, and he couldn't get out.
I mean, I don't even really think that was the case. If you've been following Brian Pillman Jr. for a long time, he had an amazing, very interesting run in MLW before he came to AEW. But he went to AEW and he got put in a stupid fucking tag team with white bread ass Griff Garrison. Called the Varsity Blondes.
Watch it.
Good time with Griff. Shout out Griff.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I kind of fuck with Griff.
I like Griff.
I kind of fuck with Griff.
More so, you gave them a stupid gimmick. It's 2024. Don't nobody care about the fucking Varsity Blondes. Don't nobody care about late 20 to 30-year-old men walking out in their leather jacket. Get the fuck out of here with that.
It was a bad gimmick.
Y'all didn't like.
Hold on. Are you telling me, Hambone? Are you telling me that the varsity jackets, the school spirit, the cheerleader, that did nothing for you? That's what you're saying.
As a 36-year-old man, I have to say yes.
Y'all didn't like Julia Hart's origin story? Y'all didn't like that?
You didn't want to chill with quarterback Griff Garrison?
Yeah, bro. Linebacker.
Linebacker Brian Pillman Jr.
All right. Too much Jeff Harrison love on this podcast. So, you know what else is weird about this to me, though? And this will be the last thing we talk about here. If you are a regular watcher of NXT, what a fucking weird character development from what she was doing before.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
that was the weirdest thing for me. I was like, what is she doing right now? This is so weird,
right?
Yeah. Schism to General Manager.
Thank you. Yeah, that was that Schism.
Yeah, she was in a cult. Like that was her gimmick. And now all of a sudden she's just walking into Shawn Michaels' office and she's his assistant all of a sudden.
Just a regular corporate.
Yeah, she's just a normal person. Yeah. Wasn't in a cult, doesn't need any therapy or anything after. Like, what?
The weird little emo band broke up and her parents were like, yo, you gotta get a real job now.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy to me every single week when that was happening that the grizzled young vets were a part of that team.
Yeah.
They were such a great tag team, and they were like, we're gonna just like the old school British strong style mean mug guys, and they're like, we're gonna make you.
They're in TNA now, right?
Yeah, they're doing great.
That is probably the best place for tag
team. Yeah, they just beat ABC on Thursday. Yeah. They're doing a best of 3 tag match for the title.
Yeah, bro, that was probably the best place for them.
100%.
And even if you don't love that kind of a gimmick, like Zach Gibson can talk.
Oh, Zach Gibson, so good. He's such a good heel.
Yeah,
he's good, bro.
He's a very charismatic guy.
Liverpool's number 1. Shout out to Zach Gibson.
There you go. That I'll allow. We already went through that. We don't need
Boo. We want
You know what? I hope he does, because at first I was very much like, bro, because before I think at least me, Nick, and Hambo were on agreement that like his character was getting pretty stale. And now he's made this like shift in a character where at first it was a lot of bitching and whining, but now he has really gotten into his hater bag. And I don't lie, bro, it's a little wild, but it's entertaining, bro. And he leans into the hate. He leans into the hate.
The workout video,
bro,
the tricep workout.
Him coming out and talking to Punk and going, "I wished for this. I
prayed on your downfall.
I love that he prefaced, "I'm not a spiritual person,
yo,
but I prayed for this."
Looked him dead in his eyes and said, "I prayed for your downfall."
Yeah,
crazy.
And I'm happy that it happened. Bro. I'm happy for me that this bad thing happened to you.
I like
that is wild.
Not do well. That's what he's telling this man to his face. I like seeing you not do well.
I love Drew McIntyre. I've always loved Drew, but this is quite literally the best thing that he has done, and one of the best things that any heel has done.
The thing about Drew that used to be really like, because I always appreciated him, but I'm like, yo, there's something about him that just doesn't sit right with me. And it was like, he's a big dude, right? But I don't know, man. Like, it was just something about him being like a baby face big dude, but like he can talk, like he's really like witty, right? But like something about that was just like, I'm not feeling that. But like him, like with all that, but now he's just a dickhead about it. I love it. I love it, bro.
I love also that he's finally getting like some flowers. I don't know if he's going to end up re-signing back with WWE, because I genuinely think if you're going, we need Rock and we need Roman, and that means Seth gets Cody. Drew's gonna be like, where the fuck do I fall?
In all of I was about to ask y'all think he should sign? He should resign?
If they keep. It's hard because I love his character. I think that they're doing the best work with Drew. But if they just see him as, because I saw a lot of fans, because I'm on the Drew McIntyre for the world title bandwagon. It's Drew McIntyre, Sammy to me, and I was like, put Drew as the champion, and everyone was like, come on, like you're not Drew's not that guy. And I'm like, if what he's doing, he like WWE fans won't see him as the guy, then yeah, you got to go somewhere else and be the guy, because he's been the guy everywhere, including WWE, and people just still don't see his presentation as a top guy.
Yeah, I don't.
You guys know.
Go ahead. I don't see him doing it. I mean, like, you know, if what they're saying is true, that Punk's injury really fucking threw everyone in a fucking tiffy for WrestleMania, and we haven't even thought about Drew to do any of this, then that says a lot about what they think about Drew.
Exactly.
You know, especially if like the Drew's whole thing right now is, I'm going to be world champion. I'm going to, you know, that's his whole thing. And they're like, yeah, but not really. You're not really going to do it, you know? Then yeah, you move on, you go somewhere else. I don't know where you go. I really don't. I know the obvious choice is AEW, but I just don't see that. I don't really know. I could say TNA. I could say.
I would imagine. I don't
know.
I would imagine. I don't know. I really don't know. If he decides like, okay, I'm not going to resign, and I want to go somewhere familiar, he could go back to TNA, because I think it's an agreement here. He would smoke TNA. He did it before.
Yeah.
But if he wanted to do something new, and I had to think about somewhere he would go, I could see him in AEW, but obviously I think he'd get lost in the sauce, especially with what's going on right now. But I mean, maybe it's a hot take. I don't know. Maybe it's a hot take. I could see him making him. Well, no, because I mean, it really depends on money, right? But if I'm using my brain and not thinking about money, I could see him saying, "Yo, I might fuck with MLW." If money is not an issue, right? If he's cool with the money, or if MLW could give him that money, I could also see him fucking with New Japan. I could see that too.
I hope he doesn't go to MLW. MLW is so awful.
Yeah, man, I just went there. It wasn't that bad.
Well, I mean, I would go to a live show and I'd enjoy myself, but watching it, that shit gives me secondhand embarrassment.
You're not fucking with Kojima? Kojima champion.
Bad. That motherfucker's 53 years old.
Yeah.
No, I'm not fucking with a 53-year-old Kojima beating Alex Kane. Shout out to Alex Kane.
Hey, shout out to Alex Kane as well.
Shout out to Alex Kane.
I got to hang out with him at one of the MLW shows recently.
Nice.
Yeah. So you guys know that before this happened, that I was burnt on Drew.
Hey, Riddle Jacob Fatu was fire.
I'm saying,
was it fire?
Everybody who's good at MLW leaves. Like, that's the whole point. Hammerstone left. MJF left.
Mm-hmm.
Fatu left.
You still got
Richard Holiday left, and then he got
what?
cancer, and then came back. But he'll leave again.
What?
So anyway, you guys know that I was burnt on Drew, and he was boring me. He had gotten very stale, very bland. I was very over him. But this heel turn has been so good for him, especially because it's a heel turn where he's right.
He's justified.
He keeps saying this shit, and he's right. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing he's saying that he's lying about. Johnny, I got to ask you something.
What's up?
Is there any European wrestler, British, Scottish, Irish, anything like that you don't support?
Oh,
yeah, because I know.
Yes,
I know that's your jam.
Yes. I love me a Brit, but there is one. I can't get on board with him.
Okay.
And he's even a Liverpool fan.
Okay.
It's JD McDonough.
Okay. Yep.
I can't get on board. I don't know if it's the head. I can't.
That might be a hot
take. On board.
Might be a hot take. I don't know. It might be a hot take.
Wait, so you don't fuck with JD?
I can't fuck with the bobblehead.
I don't care about JD. I don't care.
I'm just fucking around. But
Nick's got a hot take. What is it?
No, I'm saying that might.
Oh, you said that was a hot take. Yeah, I mean the guy's built like a Funko Pop.
Axiom.
He's very odd looking.
You know what? Axiom doesn't necessarily move me either.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
In this gimmick, yeah.
Sure. Okay. All right. I just want. I know that you're a big fan of the Brits and the Europeans and all that.
All the UK lads, especially if you got any kind of affiliation towards Liverpool, you are in my heart forever. Except
for JD,
if your head outweighs your body by about 30 pounds. So
yes,
I've been there.
You're top heavy, JD.
Yeah, and not in a good way.
Not in a good way. This is interesting.
I'm honestly surprised that he has not retired sooner. Not that I have an issue with him wrestling at all. Like it's been nice having him back, for that run that he just had. But yeah, I'm surprised he didn't stop sooner. But I mean, either way, it's gonna be a big fucking deal.
Yeah, I would love to know, just in his head, like who he thinks would be his opponent for that. I mean, we could sit here and speculate all day.
Good question. I don't know.
We talked about who it should be.
We did talk about it, but I would love to know what he thinks. I would love to Chris Van Vliet or someone be like, who do you see being that person? And is it a young guy? Is it someone who's is it Randy? Who is it? I would love to see what he feel what's in his head. What's his dream match to end it all? I would love to hear his thoughts on that. But I don't know.
I imagine we do something with Cena and Randy before he.
Yeah.
I would think so.
That's who we believe that it should be.
I'm
not even a Cena fan, but I would love to see him and Orton at WrestleMania and the whole thing built around Randy just saying, "Hey, yeah, I'm a legend now too, but I'm still a legend killer, and I'm gonna be the one to take you out. It has to be me."
Yeah,
he does it at Mania.
Honestly, I would love it if they had the title on the line and that was Randy winning the 17th time and he beat Cena, retire Cena. I think that the next Cena, it's Cody for now, and then for the next 10 years to 15 years, it's gonna be Carmelo Hayes to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Carmelo. I don't know if I see him that high yet, Johnny, but I am a big fan of that boy.
Future world champion.
Should not be on NXT anymore, that's for sure.
Is he still there?
No, yeah, well, he's supporting his best friend Trick Williams while Ilya Dragunov is being a piece of shit.
Yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. He might not be on NXT after tonight, but we'll see.
True shit.
This is all Ilya's fault.
I talked about this.
This made me fucking sick, boy.
Thank you, Drew. Thanks a lot, Drew.
Thank you, Drew.
Piece of shit.
Listen,
had to pray.
As a CM Punk mark,
same.
Go home, Phil.
Bro.
Stay home.
Yeah.
Stop
doing
it. Stop it. You can't get through a match. Just
stop it.
Go home.
Stop it. Just stop.
I wonder what is the case there. I'm
gonna go piss, bro. I don't want to talk about this. I'm gonna go piss.
Is Finn Balor not that different in age to him? You know what I mean? It's just there's constant injuries. I just wonder if it's if it's ring rust or if it's just ring time and you just need to get into ring shape. And then when you have a match, you have to be extremely careful in months and months and months leading up to the match. It just seems to happen way too much.
I think he has glass bones and paper skin, like the dude from SpongeBob who wanted to buy the chocolate. That's who he is. That's just who he is as a person. I don't know why, but that's just what he. Ever since he's been back, it's been that.
All right. We don't need to go in on him now.
Go
down.
Honestly, his whole thing in AEW was that he wanted to be the Eddie Guerrero to, the next generation. If he goes and like becomes that person in NXT, like he has a great career doing so.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually enjoy him just going to NXT and maybe building some people up or doing something in that capacity. I actually would think that'd be dope.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know if he will.
I'll probably never rock with the guy ever again, but I'll be happy for him there.
I have no worries.
Hey, as a Punk mark, like the AEW shit really put a bad taste in my mouth. Like I'm not gonna lie, it really did. I was real down on him for a while. I'm still gonna say that I'm not like I'm not ecstatic to see Punk still at this point. I was excited because I'm gonna be at Mania. I've never seen him wrestle live. I'm finally going to get that at fucking WrestleMania. But now it's like, whatever.
Damn.
No.
You've never seen him live?
Nope. I've not ever. I have gone to a million events. He has never been on one of them.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That sucks.
Even I've been to several AEW events, and the only thing he did was at one of them, he came out and did commentary.
It counts. You saw him. You count. Yeah.
No, I couldn't even see him where he was. Like they were situated. I couldn't even see the guy.
I saw him in AEW, but I forgot what he was doing. I saw him in AEW, but I don't think it was wrestling.
I went to Chicago for Collision when he did his first Collision. That was wild.
Me and Nick told the story before. Me and Nick, we weren't hosting the show, but we were at a rap show, and I was performing. And I was like backstage. I think I was getting ready to go on, and it was the night that Punk was like debuting in AEW. And me and Nick are backstage. I'm about to go on, and was I about to go on, or was I done with the set, Nick? I don't remember.
I think you were. We had some time, but you were almost next.
And we were backstage, like on my phone, watching it, like before like my set began, and we're just sitting there, like, we kind of like we told people at the show too, like because we had
this is my show. I was throwing the show.
It was Nick's show, and like everyone we know everybody there, so we're like talking to the people at the venue. We're like, yo, I know we go on, but like we're gonna peak this. We got this going on. We're gonna peak this while y'all call us out. We're like backstage.
Yeah, bro, that shit was fun.
Yeah, so this makes me sick to my stomach, man. My excitement for WrestleMania has gone down drastically.
I feel pretty similar to how I've felt for the last few months about WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. I'm just waiting for Sheamus. Sammy, and I'll be excited for Jimmy and Jay.
Jay should be fighting Gunther.
Yeah, and I'll be excited for whatever Drew does, because Drew is genuinely like top 5 for me right now.
Oh.
I don't think he'll do anything at this rate.
Yeah, I'm very scared of that.
Love this.
Johnny, do you know about Hambone's hatred towards Pat McAfee?
No, I don't. I think we may have talked about it a little bit.
I don't care about football. So to me, he's just a fucking dork. He is a doofus, and not in a good way. In a you are fucking annoying way.
It's crazy. It's crazy you called Pat McAfee a dork when he's standing next to Michael Cole. I love Michael Cole.
I'm saying.
Literally.
Now, Graves and Wade, I love that teaming because I'm a big fan of both of them. But
I don't. So my only issue is it's so heel dominated there.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Like,
yes, I am. So I thought that too, but usually when this happens, if there are two heels, they end up slowly kind of eliminating the heelish stuff from one of them.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what's going to happen with Corey. Yeah.
I think Wade's going to be the one that goes face.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Because Corey, by the way, I loved the Royal Rumble 3-man announce team. If they're doing that,
McAfee, that was great.
If they're doing that, then Corey out of the 3 would, in my head, is the better heel announcer out of all 3 of those guys. So if he's gonna keep doing pay-per-views, he can't just be face on the day-to-day and then switch up on the pay-per-view and all of a sudden be
Corey looks like a scumbag.
that's my whole thing. So like, I really, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Corey looks like a scumbag too. So it's like, I feel like if Wade just whatever, he does.
He looks like a
scumbag. Why? Because he's heavily tattooed. Yes. Is that what you're fucking saying? Huh? Like are you saying that he's a scumbag?
Are you hearing me?
He looks like he runs a pawn
Look at him. He looks like a shady character. Look at him.
Yeah. He looks like a shady character, bro.
He looks like he shouldn't be allowed near playgrounds, but whatever.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't buy weed from him. I'll say that. I wouldn't. Actually, I would buy weed from him. I would buy weed from Corey.
Yeah, no, I think Wade goes.
I would buy weed from Corey.
I'd buy it from Corey, not from Pat.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying it from Cole. I might buy it from Pat.
I think Pat is the way to go. Yeah.
Pat might know where the gas is at.
Pat's not selling it, but he knows who does sell it.
He knows.
Like,
my guy, where the gas is. Yeah. Cole got a card. He's gonna go to the dispensary.
yeah, but Cole's got a card, but he tells you how stressed he is all the time. Like he's not smoking it for enjoyment.
Corey Wade wants you to think he smokes, but he don't.
Wade don't smoke at all. You go to Wade and he's like, "Oh, I don't."
Oh yeah, I love.
I don't smoke.
You'd fucking.
That's what he says. But Corey know where that gas is.
I wanna just. The whole point of us doing this podcast now is that we're not just going to talk about wrestling if there's something else to talk about. Okay. But so, just going off of that point, I do not smoke weed. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I've never done any drug in my life.
Because straight edge means I'm better than you, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You got it. Mm-hmm. Never done any of that. Not Wakanda either.
No. You didn't have to say not Wakanda.
Yeah, I guess.
It could have been both.
Straight edge and Wakanda. Wakanda? No, I meant like that's not what I meant at the moment.
No, we get it. You hate Wakanda. No.
Wow. Well, I'm canceled. I'm canceled.
You're stepping on the shit.
So my point in saying that is my wife, uses weed. But for a very long time in our relationship, she didn't. And like we would talk all the time about like how naive we were about drugs. Like if I were to go up to somebody, like I don't even know what to say. Like, hey, can I buy one weed, sir? And how much is that? Is it $5 or $500? Both of them sound right to me. I don't know the fucking difference.
Dude,
I don't know what the sizes are. I don't know none of that stuff. Where do you buy? How do I just find cocaine?
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like, I have no idea.
We got a cop.
Right, he wants to know. So where do I find cocaine? So you guys tell me.
Where would you?
Hey, you guys, fellow regular people.
How do you do, my fellow kids?
I don't know if this is an Ohio thing, but do you guys have like drive-through like liquor stores?
Huh? No.
People have told me that's an Ohio thing, but I don't know if it's an Ohio thing.
That's an Ohio thing.
But they would always.
Virginia state regulates the alcohol. Like there's actual like ABC stores. They're called.
That's right.
Yeah. So like
they cancel it at some weird time, right? Don't they like shut down the liquor store on like Saturdays or something?
No, they because I used to work at one of them. So at 10 or whatever, you can't buy like hard liquor. You can go buy beer. You can go buy beer until like 1 or something like that. Okay. I think during COVID it was like by 11 you had to like stop buying beer or anything at like a Walmart or a Wawa or whatever it is. But alcohol, like hard liquor, like buying tequila, a bottle of tequila, like you can't buy it past 10.
Oh yeah, after 11, that shit down.
But so
out here we have Sheila to confirm we have drive-through liquor stores, and then we even got like dry counties and shit like that.
Okay,
I've never been a drive-through liquor store. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, they would right around here. They sell weed in it too. They're like, you're not supposed to know that, but they also.
Oh man,
that's sick. No, so I recently handbone. So I don't drink anymore. I did drink, but I stopped drinking for
health reasons. Fun, man. That was fun.
Yeah, drunk Nick was nuts. I've never smoked weed, but I've done edibles before. I really liked edibles, but edibles started giving me a headache, so I don't do that stuff either. But I recently, my girlfriend she uses these cart things, these fucking whatever, right? So I had to buy one from our friend who is a dealer. and I've known him for like
he's one of our oldest and one of my best friends.
I literally I've known him for 10 plus years, right? And so the first time I hit him up, I didn't know how to hit him up without like being hot. Essentially,
wait, real quick. Let's give him some context here. So Nick, everyone who knows Nick knows Nick don't smoke, and for years we have been always trying to like get him to do it. Nick don't fold. He ain't touching it. He just don't like smoking his lungs. He ain't gonna do that shit. Yep. So we all, I mean, it's a running gag at this point. That's just Nick and weed. He's just not gonna do it.
Yeah. So I hit him up and basically was like, "Hey man, I need this thing for my girlfriend." He was like, "Okay, cool. Just bring the money and come to my house and I'll get it for you." Like, cool. So I pulled up and he texted me the day of and was like, "Hey man, I'm not gonna be there, but my baby mama is. So just call her and let her know you're on your way and and then go to the house." I forgot to call her. I just went to the house. And that was not a good move. Because they also have a little daughter, I think it is.
Yeah, I got a daughter.
And so she's like doing the daughter's hair, and the baby mama has no idea why I'm there or what I need. So I'm like, "Hey, I'm buying from this guy." And she goes, "Oh, okay, give me 1 second." She takes like 3 minutes and then hands me a bag of weed. And I go, "No, that's not what I want. I'm getting a cart." And she goes, "Oh, my bad." And I was like, "Yeah, it's like $40 or something like that." She goes, "Oh, okay." And then comes back with the cart and then hands me the cart. But I was like, that was the awkward thing. And then he hits me up later and is like, "Yeah, man, you were supposed to call her because she's like doing the baby's hair and stuff." I'm like, "That's my fucking bad, dude. I just pulled up after work. I didn't fucking know."
To add to that same guy text me. I guess a little bit after Nick left. He's like, "Yo, you will never guess who just hit me up for some weed." I think Nick hit me first. About it and told me what happened. But then he hit me up and was like, "Yo, you'll never guess who hit me up for some weed." But we have this legit, we call it booth. But he was like, "Yeah, you'll never guess who hit me for some booth." I said, "Who?" And I already knew. I just wanted to hear what he was going to say. And he tells me we used to call Nick Big Country. So he was like, "Big Country done pulled up to get some gas, right?" And I just started laughing because I guess he showed me the screenshot of what him and his girl. She was saying, "Yeah, like I guess he was telling her get the door, he's coming." And she said something about how she knew it was him. She was like the big white guy, right? And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, for a minute, I thought he was finally about to cross over to the other side. I was like, "Nah, for his girl, bro."
Nah, bro. Yeah, so that was awkward as fuck because I've never done anything like that. And like
that shit was funny when Nick told me because I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna think that you're actually copping for you."
Yeah, nah, nope.
I think though the context of you, like everyone knowing that you don't do it, helps you out because like I've always been the friend that has never like I don't do anything. I've now started to drink, after I'm like fucking 25. You made
25 old. Y'all saw that?
Oh no! I started to drink at like 25. Actually, I drank the first time I ever drank was 21 when the Hardies came back because it was a bet. But then I never. Like,
I'd take a shot anything. For that one.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then I'm 27 now. But then but I don't smoke. I don't do anything. So everyone always knows that. We were sitting at my buddy's house. We were sitting in a gigantic van that has like 4 seats. So there's probably about 12 people packed in this van smoking. So I'm just inhaling all of that, but I don't smoke or anything. And they had a big birthday for my buddy. His parents all smoke and everything. So they're all fine with it. But I wasn't because this was like the first time I was ever fucked up. And I was trying to explain to them I had never, I'm still didn't do anything. They think it's hilarious because they're like, "Oh, he finally did it." Until we all have like a burger bar. And I'm so fucked up that I just grabbed the entire plate.
By hand.
and his dad was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But the context of everyone knowing that I don't do anything, they're like, "Oh, it's like baby's first steps." Like, okay, you're fine.
Let me segue this, right? Because we sit up here talking about what we don't do. Let me tell you about last night. So Sheila's birthday's tomorrow, right?
Oh man, you see how he looked over his shoulder to see if she was listening.
I said.
Oh look, so her birthday is tomorrow, and normally we're like big on surprises, right? We love surprising each other, but like I told her, I was like, hey, look, man, I'm a little surprised out. Like this is all we do, you know. And we talked about it. She's like, you know, I'm kind of cool with just telling you, hey, this is what I want. Here's a list of things I want for birthday, anniversary, whatever you please, right? And I'm like, that works. You know what I mean? So she says, you know, we're in Florida. We're like right by Orlando. She's like, I want to take you to downtown Orlando. She used to go to a lot of bars. She used to go to a lot of clubs. That was her bag before we met. And she's like, hey, I want to take you to downtown. Now, me, Nick, and Hambone Johnny have already talked about us being in our 30s, how we just don't and can't be doing the things that we used to do when we were in our 20s.
Right.
Washed.
Yeah.
I just had back surgery.
Very wise. me especially, right? Me especially, because I've always been just a very physically, just active dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm a performer. I work out. I did MMA like during the pandemic. Like I'm just always doing shit. And although I'm still always doing shit because I'm older now, it's taken a lot of wind out of me. So one of the things that like, you know, me and Nick stopped doing was being out late. We used to be out till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, go to work the next morning and then come back and do the same shit every night.
Right.
Can't do that shit no more, right? So Sheila goes, you know what, I'm gonna take you to downtown Orlando. That's what I want to do as part of this, you know, as we celebrate my birthday this month. Let's go to downtown Orlando. I want to hit some bars. I want to show you around. And that's what I want to do. I said, cool, we can do that. And I even sweeten the deal. I say, hey, listen, let's get an Uber, right? That way, because we're going to get tired at a pretty relatively early time, right? Let's just take the stress of having to find parking. Let's take the stress of having to fucking drive through all this fucking traffic because everyone's going to be out and about on a Saturday night in downtown Florida. Let's Uber so we can have our fun and then put the responsibility of getting this back home on somebody else. Bad. So we go, right? She found on TikTok, right? Because she was looking on TikTok on like, because we were talking, like, we were like, you know, we want to, she was like, I want to go to a speakeasy. I want to take you to a speakeasy. Like one of those bars where it's like, you have to go through like some type of secret passageway to get there. Yeah. And boom, it's like this nice little low-key lounge type deal. Because we want to go out, but we're like over just being amongst a bunch of like wild ass motherfuckers screaming, belligerent. We're over that shit. We want to go out, but we want to keep it like sexy and low-key, right? So we go to this, she finds this speakeasy on TikTok. It's called Mathers, right? And we go there. The guy at the front gate or the front door, very, very nice. He lets us in. He tells us, hey, you're going to go on this elevator. You're going to go down to the 3rd floor. You're going to be in this little library, and you're going to look for a book. And then in the fiction section, you pull that book. The bookcase is going to open. You're in the bar. Sure enough, we're down there. We see it. We go in. It's a nice ass, like it's a nice spot, but it's a little packed out, but not like to where you kind of still can't enjoy yourself. So, you know, and I've never been like, if you know me, I'll do everything else. I just don't drink, right? I'll do everything else. I don't drink. But since I moved to Florida, I dabble. So we get there. We're looking at the menu. She was like, what do you want to drink? I'm like, I'm not too sure. What about you? She's like, you know, I can go for some tequila. She likes tequila. So we find this, like, I forgot what it was called. This, like, spiced tequila drink. It was really good. We had the drinks. We're sitting, we're talking, we're looking around. And then after a little bit, she's like, hey, you want to go in another spot? I said, yeah, sure. So we go, because she wants to show me, I guess, this club or bar that I guess that she used to frequent. And she shows me, you know, she's just showing me and stuff. We're looking around. Now we're kind of just wandering around, but we walk inside this bar that's like, oh no, it was a bar that was like, it was like a lamp store, but it had all these crazy wacky lamps, but it was also a bar. It's not that no more, right? It's not that no more. It's like this weird kind of like, it gave me like a 80s type, like Saved by the Bell-ish vibe, but it was cool. It was cool. You know, you're sitting around, people are drinking, like they got like board games for you to play and shit. We play Connect 4. But again, I'm not a big drinker, but when I do drink, I love me a tequila sunrise. So I fuck with that. So she goes up to the bartender, shouts out to her. Goddamn boy, did she hook it up. She put a sacrilegious amount of tequila in them drinks, bro. And me personally, bro, if I got a drink, bro, I will down that shit in seconds. And me not being a drinker, should have kept that in mind. I did not. And I think I had I might have had 2. How many tequila sunrises did I have? One. I had 1. One, there was tequila sunrise from that bar, and then there was the spiced tequila drink that I had from the other bar. And me not being a drinker, Nick knows this. I'm pretty hit. I'm pretty hit, right? So now we're like, all right, let's just wander around. Let's just walk around and just see what's around. And she's been telling me about insomnia cookies, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I never had it. Let's go check it out, right?
I've dabbled in that.
So we go, and she's telling me, okay, so this is the street with all of the bars and clubs that I used to go to. Like, this is my shit. This is where I used to go, right? She goes, now I'm gonna let you know though, it get kind of wild on the street. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is where people kind of are just at their worst, right? So right next to Insomnia Cookies, it was this one road where all the debauchery was going on. It was like on the end of Insomnia Cookies is this girl screaming at the top of her lungs with this guy calling him a bitch ass motherfucker, and she's yelling at him, like really screaming at him. On another side is this girl. She's like with her friends are all trying to hold her up. She's a shit-faced drunk. And I'm looking, I'm like, these motherfuckers are fucked up. It's only 9 o'clock. This is like 11 p.m. type behavior, right?
Yeah.
Now, 9:30, bro. This is 9:30 at 22. The night has just begun. 9:30 at 32. It's almost over, bro.
Yeah, we're done.
But I love her. It's her birthday. Whatever she want to do, I'm rocking, bro. I am not here to poop on your party. It's your night, baby. But goddamn, bro, my body is howling at me, yo, at 30 fucking 2. So we go back to the bar that, you know, had like the board games and stuff like that. We sit and chill, we eating popcorn. It's some real nice, cool, laid back shit. And then I want to say like 11 o'clock, 11:10 rolls around.
It was 10:30.
10:30. And I hear the best thing I've heard all night. Although it was a fun night out, I hear the best thing you could fucking hear if you're in my shoes. You ready to go home? Boy.
That's a good woman.
So,
that's a good woman right there.
So I'm like, hold on now. This is about you. Like, we don't have to cut it short because you worried about me. Are you ready to go? She's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I miss our dog. I wanted to stare at my phone in my bed. I'm ready to rock. Right?
Yep.
Hell yeah, let's go. We grabbed the Uber. Now the Uber ride there, very pleasant. The Uber ride back, my fucking God, dude. Not only was she a wild fucking driver, I try not to judge, right? I try not to judge, especially when it comes to music. Everyone's got their own tastes and preferences. That was the worst fucking playlist I have ever had. I fell asleep, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep at some point. She didn't. She was awake, bro. It was a lot of bullshit playing in the car, bro. And then on top of that, I get hot very easily. You know? I get very hot very easily. It's nothing for me to start sweating. It was scorching hot in that car. She didn't have the heat on. It was just hot as shit in there, and she wouldn't turn the AC on. So I'm just, and then you ever woke up sweating?
Yeah. It's the worst,
bro. Yeah. So by the time we got home, dude, yeah, man, like
1 star.
And I'm feeling it today, dude. Like I was really in my Nick bag because Nick always keeps Excedrin on him. I was definitely, I think at 2 points had to pop a couple of Excedrin just to like get me through the day.
Yeah. So like I said, I just had back surgery 2 weeks ago, and usually I have a pretty high pain tolerance for the most part. And they gave me, some like oxycodone,
some goodies. Some
other thing that I can't even pronounce, right?
Yeah.
I haven't really taken them a lot, but I'm taking them today because yesterday I definitely overdid it. But it's funny, Con, because my wife and I do that all the time. We have never been the type to go out. You know, it's just not our bag. So, but there's a couple times a year we'll be sitting at home on a Saturday at 10 p.m. next to each other, and I look over at her and go, you realize people are getting ready to go out right now?
Yeah,
they're not even out yet.
We had that same convo, bro. That thought alone wears me out, bro.
No. All right, so I want to get to one more thing because Johnny and I want to get out of here and catch this NXT show. But have you guys seen the video going around of this wrestling tag team from the 80s called the Dirty Dogs?
No, I thought you were going to talk about the Outriders.
Yeah. No, I'm talking this completely different thing. this apparently happened over the weekend, and I feel like we need to take a look at it.
Let's do it.
Let's peek.
Is it going to work though? That is the question.
Right.
Because I did what
I'm giant nervous.
I did what StreamYard told me to do, but it's not working.
8-bit.
Hold on.
Man, what?
What?
What was the second photo?
Hold on. All right, let me see if this works. I don't know if it will or not.
See it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You see it? You see it?
Yay!
So that's been going around, right? Look, but just Look at these absolute sleazeballs. So their names, they're the Dirty Dogs. That's Sleazy Eric, Dirty Rick, and their manager, Filthy Willie. And just look at these sleazeballs right here.
That's phenomenal.
These disgusting people. Disgusting people.
Hell yeah. You're muted, Con. You're muted, Con.
Muted.
Oh, sorry, it was my fault. Go ahead.
I was just saying they're a bunch of thugs, and I wouldn't want my children watching that.
Right? Yeah.
I agree with you.
I'll go as far as to say, and this might even be a hot take, fellas, that I hope that those dirty dogs got what they deserved.
Wow.
They shouldn't be allowed in the wrestling business, honestly.
Some good old-fashioned street justice.
So that's the end.
Hell yeah.
Johnny, buddy, thanks for being here. We appreciate you. We always love having you on. Always love talking to you. Plug all your stuff, bro.
Triple Threat Pod on Twitch. We are like 13 minutes away from doing Vengeance Day. John Boy Bebop on TikTok and YouTube. Just surpassed 1,000 subscribers on YouTube without ever posting a actual full-length video. Shorts just do super well. Like you just pull your TikTok and put it on Shorts. And yeah, that's it. Marissa DeLuco. And then if you really like us, we're on Patreon as well.
Shouts out Marissa.
Shout out Marissa.
Cool.
You guys are going live for Vengeance Day?
Yep, we will be live for Vengeance Day.
Right after this. Yeah. I'm not gonna plug our shit. It's been going at the bottom the whole time. If you didn't see it,
it's right there.
That's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Literally.
Go watch all our stuff.
Literally. Johnny, appreciate you being here.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate being here. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Blend right in.
Friend of the show.
Absolutely.
We will see all of you fucking marks next week. And as always,
not me. I won't be here.
He won't be here. That guy won't be here because
football
is more important than us. So, so that's what he's going to be doing.
I wouldn't go saying that.
But Con and I will be here. Con and I will be here.
You damn right.
But as always,
you damn right.
As always, keep it kinky.